Have you ever looked at your bank account and felt like you were fighting an invisible ghost? You know you should be saving more. You have read all the articles about emergency funds and investment strategies, but somehow, month after month, that balance stays right where it is, or even worse, it slowly disappears. If you are around the age of 58 and living in America today, there is a number you need to hear. According to the Federal Reserve, the median retirement savings for a household headed by someone your age is about $200,000. On the surface, $200,000 sounds like a decent amount of money, but here is the cold, hard truth that the news will not tell you. If you apply the standard 4% withdrawal rule, that $200,000 only provides you with about $666 per month. $666. That is not enough to cover a modern grocery bill, let alone your utilities, your property taxes, or your health care. John, if you feel a pit in your stomach right now, I want you to know something very important. You are not a failure. You are not lazy, and you are not financially irresponsible. The reason you are stuck in this $200,000 trap is not because of a lack of willpower. The real culprit is far more ancient and completely outside of your conscious control. Your brain is literally wired to work against your retirement goals. In the next 10 minutes, we are going to perform a psychological autopsy on your financial habits. We are going to look at the three invisible walls that are keeping you from the huge try you deserve. And more importantly, I am going to show you exactly how to hack your own evolution to break free before it is too late. To understand why you cannot save, we have to go back thousands of years. Your brain is essentially a survival machine that evolved in a world of immediate danger and scarce resources. When our ancestors found a beehive full of honey or a fallen animal, they did not think about saving 10% for next year. They ate everything immediately because there was no guarantee they would be alive tomorrow. In the world of evolution, delaying gratification was a death sentence. But today, you are carrying that same ancient hardware into a world of credit cards, inflation, and 30-year retirement plans. It is like trying to run the latest high-speed software on a computer from the Stone Age. The system was never designed for this. This brings us to the first wall standing between you and wealth, and it is called present bias. Present bias is your brain's tendency to value a small reward right now much more than a massive reward in the future. This is why spending $50 on a nice dinner tonight feels like a win, while putting that same $50 into an index fund feels like a loss. The dinner is real, it smells good, and you can enjoy it right now. The retirement fund is abstract, distant, and invisible. For your brain, the future version of you is essentially a stranger. In fact, brain scans show that when people think about their future selves, the same area of the brain lights up as when they think about a complete stranger on the street. You are literally asking your current self to sacrifice for someone you do not even recognize. But there is a second wall that is even more dangerous for someone in their 50s, and that is loss aversion. Psychologists have proven that the pain of losing money is twice as powerful as the joy of gaining it. This is why many people your age are terrified of the stock market. You remember 2008. You see the headlines about market crashes and you decide to stay in cash because it feels safe. But here's the secret your brain is hiding from you. In the year 2025, cash is the most dangerous asset you can own. With inflation eating away at your purchasing power, every dollar sitting in a standard savings account is guaranteed to lose value. Your brain thinks it is protecting you from a market dip, but it is actually leading you straight into a poverty trap. By avoiding the perceived risk of the market, you are accepting the absolute certainty of losing your standard of living. Then, there is the third wall, and this is the one that most people are too embarrassed to talk about. It is social comparison. Your brain is constantly scanning your environment to see where you rank in the tribe. This served a purpose when social status meant better access to food and safety. But today, that instinct is being weaponized against you by social media. You see your neighbor pull up in a brand new SUV. You see a friend from high school posting photos from a luxury cruise in Europe. Suddenly, your perfectly functional life feels inadequate. You feel a biological urge to spend money to keep up, to prove that you are still a successful member of the tribe. This is known as keeping up with the Joneses, and it is a financial weapon of mass destruction. Every time you spend money to look rich, you are taking a hammer to the wall of your future freedom. So how do we fix this? If willpower is a muscle that gets tired, we cannot rely on it to save our hootree. Instead, we have to build systems that do the work for us. The most successful savers are not the ones with the most discipline. They are the ones who have removed the need for discipline entirely. Step one is total automation. You must arrange for your savings to be moved before you even see the money. If the money never hits your checking account, your brain never has the chance to view it as a resource for immediate consumption. You are effectively tricking your Stone Age brain by making the future reward automatic and the current temptation difficult to access. Step two is what I call the one more year strategy. If you are sitting at that $200,000 mark and feeling hopeless, I want you to look at the math of compounding. If you have $500,000 invested in the S&P 500 and it earns an average of 10% per year, your money doubles roughly every 7 years. That means if you can find a way to work just a few years longer or work part-time to cover your bills without touching your principal, your wealth can explode. The difference between retiring at 62 and retiring at 67 can be the difference between struggling and living in total abundance. By delaying your withdrawals, you are letting the snowball reach its maximum speed. Remember, the first 100,000 is a grind, but the second million comes faster than the first. Step three is changing your environment. If your social circle is constantly pressuring you to spend, it is time to find a new tribe. Surround yourself with people who value financial peace of mind over social signaling. There is an incredible freedom that comes when you stop caring about the car in your neighbor's driveway and start focusing on the freedom in your own bank account. Real wealth is not what you buy. Real wealth is the ability to say no to a toxic job, the ability to help your grandchildren, and the peace of knowing you will never be a burden to your family. John, the statistics might be scary, but they are not your destiny. The fact that the average person retires with only $200,000 is a warning, not a sentence. The bar to be above average is actually very low. By simply understanding these three psychological walls, you are already ahead of 90% of the population. You now have the instruction manual for the machine that has been sabotaging you. You are not fighting a lack of character. You are fighting millions of years of evolution. And once you stop fighting and start building systems, everything changes. Do not let your ancient instincts rob you of your future. Take control of the software. Automate your future. And remember, tree is not the end of the road. It is the reward for the person who learned how to outsmart their own brain. If you are ready to break through these walls and claim your freedom, I want you to do one thing right now. Leave a comment below with the word freedom. It is a small step, but it is a signal to your brain that today the rules have changed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.